Slot Car News, sponsored by LEB Hobbies, your specialist in home and hobby slot car racing. Hey, ka-chow. Yes, I'm at work, guys, and that's why the Fancy Dan studio here. Slot Car News, though. We need no Fancy Dan studio for that. We're going to start off with Storero with this beautiful Parnelli Jones Watson from 1963, Indianapolis. I don't know how many people have one of these Storero cars. I do not have an Storero. They look fantastic. The cars are so beautiful. They don't do a lot of cars, but boy, when they do, it looks like a keeper. Speaking of a keeper, I like to segue there. Ken Block, SCX. This is another beautiful little car from SCX. Now, I'm going to reach out. Did reach out to SCX about this car. They have not gotten back to me yet. I do think that maybe we have some U.S. distribution, at least in theory. That would be nice for them, for the SCX fans, of which there are some. Yeah. So it's a new car, the Cosworth, obviously, another in the long line of beautiful little rally cars that they do. They do a lot of these. The motors are particularly suited that they have. Well, they probably use the RK motor now, not the old RX motors, which were heavy, had pretty decent torque, fairly low RPM, which really meant that they were, definitely suited for rally cars with all the torque and the weight on the motor. But I do think this is probably the new RK motor, which is a fine, mild motor. It would be about the equivalent of a Scalextric or a Carrera motor. So, appropriate quality, appropriate speed, that sort of thing. Next, we move on to Revoslot and the first listers that are being shown now as in stock in some overseas stores. Hopefully, you'll see those start to arrive at dealers here in the U.S. fairly soon. I believe you will. I believe these are in stock at the distributor. The distributor might not have gotten to sending them out yet. So, I don't know. We'll see, though, won't we? Regardless, beautiful car. I'm sure it's going to run really, really well. And, of course, it's Revoslot quality on the details on the body, so it's going to look fantastic. We all know that. Speaking of looking fantastic, we have, how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 things from Policar / Slotted. The Policar Gunston Lotus should be arriving fairly soon. I believe that is one of the next arrivals. Yeah, I really do think it is. I do really like these little cheese wedge cars. They are the body on the Lotus is so nice looking, and I think Slotted have done a really nice job. Policar have done a really nice job with these cars, and I'm sure this is going to be a popular livery. It's not a livery that you see kind of overdone. Yeah, anyway, beautiful car. The Orica from Le Mans 2023 is going to be arriving fairly soon, I believe. This is a slotted car, of course. So, yeah, if you're into modern LMP kinds of cars, this is definitely a pickup for you because the bodies on these are so nicely done. Obviously, we know what the slotted quality is like. Everybody, it's just fantastic running gear on the car, and really, really nice body detail, of course. 956, the long tail, with the Dallas sponsorship, I guess you'd say. Also from Le Mans, but this is there's only 3 actually here, yeah. 1984 from Le Mans as well, from the Group C years. Beautiful car. And that, I believe, is coming next year, I think. But in any case, not anytime soon. So there we are, folks. Come back after the racing and show news. I did add in another one or two to the racing and show news, so please check those out. And I'll have a bit of a rant or an editorial or whatever you want to call it right after this. So today's editorial is going to be fairly brief. It's about a topic I've talked about a number of times before, but I am concerned that manufacturer or two is not really getting the idea, especially for a new mold. When you release a new mold for which there is no natural competitor in your own product line, you really need to release at least 4 liveries of a new mold at once. The fact that we're only getting onesie-twosies of new molds from some manufacturers on the first release is really, frankly, problematic as far as sales go, as far as, how that car is going to be accepted. I don't really want to single any one manufacturer out, but you will know kind of who I'm talking about, and I really do hope that this coming year, people tend to follow more of the Revoslot model of business, frankly, where, you get 3 to 4 of a car each time it gets released, certainly from the hobby manufacturers, from the more broad kind of popularity manufacturers like Scalextric and Carrera. It's not really as critical because they release a number of GT cars or whatever the series is. Certainly, Scalextric releases 50 to 60 new cars a year, which I frankly think is too many. But you get a whole bunch of choices within certainly GT3 and kind of their I don't know what they call it, the saloon racing series or whatever, kind of the older GT cars. In a given year, you'll have several to race against or drive against each other if you're just kind of playing with them, which is perfectly fine. But I definitely think that, the smaller manufacturers, the hobby manufacturers, need to really look at releasing more than just one on first release of a new mold. Because, how many guys just won't buy that car because their buddy already bought one and they don't want to have the exact same car that their friend has. It is frankly kind of a problem. And I think Revoslot definitely have addressed this by releasing a number of cars. Every time they release a car, you get a whole bunch of liveries at once. And I think it helps, frankly, everybody. So, kind of a weak editorial, I know, but it's something I want to harp on because I think it's really important for the overall health of the hobby, just to have more choices, quite frankly, even if it's just like within a certain racing series, to have just a few choices within that series, for liveries and for other cars to be raced. In any case, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I will try to do more videos. I'm working on a project, a racetrack scenics building that I am probably most of the way through painting and then just kind of assembling. It's not going to be a tough thing to do. So I'm I'm really excited about that. It's the what I believe is kind of the Le Mans building, office building or something from the whatever it is, doesn't matter. That's not how I'm building it. It's going to be kind of a semi-flat building. This means semi-flat in sign language. No, it doesn't. Just like the front facade of a building that's going to be kind of in the background on my track. I'm going to change up the scenery so it's a little more. There's a little more. It's going to be different scenery on my track. So I'm going to be doing kind of videos about that. I actually have another one that I'm going to post probably over the weekend, and I will try to do a live stream this coming Sunday. We'll see about that. So yeah, definitely going to try to crank up the videos even more. So thanks for watching, folks. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you all again real soon.